This show, The House That Modernism Built, looked at the relationship between mid-century modern design and modern art. I was really excited by this idea because I had an interesting conversation with Eames Demetrio, the grandson of Charles and Ray Eames, about how his grandparents thought about design and how they thought about the whole process. And they would think about all the different technologies available to them, industrial resources that they could use, but also the history of design and everything that had been made before. This is an aspect of modernism that we're looking at in the show, that anything could be used to solve a problem. There wasn't an adherence to hierarchy or prejudices against other materials or disciplines or cultures or history. Everything was fair game if it contributed to the issue at hand.
And that's exactly what's behind most of industrial design, is the idea of trying to make an object that serves its purpose in the most efficient way, but at the same time has a kind of aesthetic appeal that makes you want to have it and makes you want to use it. Because, the enjoyment of using a utilitarian thing is part of its utility.
The fact that Charles and Ray Eames were so blatant about this admiration for all of the inventions and considerations that came before them was a chance for me to look at that same process in modern artists.
Something that was really refreshing about working with Jen is that she came in to the archive in Michigan, spent 2 full days going through the collection. The pieces that she chose placed close to the art that was being created at the time helps a visitor understand just what was going on at that time in general, and really help tell the story from beginning of modernism until today.
One of my favorite pieces is an ensemble designed by Eero Saarinen, his fabulous tulip chair and table. On it, we're lucky enough to have a number of period ceramic pieces. Imagine it set in one of those elegant, pristine, and geometrically unforgiving modern houses that really change the way we think about domestic setting and how we live. They seem so peaceful, as though they'd always been there and that they were magically assembled as part of this very quiet and methodical process. Nothing could be further from the truth.
Although the viewer may see an object as just one piece, the staff has to account for every individual piece that comprise that object. There's just over 200 pieces featured in this exhibition. Something like the Eames contract storage unit, commonly called the Murphy bed, came in 3 separate crates, and each individual piece was packed separately. We have to make sure that it arrived as it should, that it arrived in good condition, and that all parts are insured and fully documented.
A lot of the Bechtle collection has been viewed before. Part of my job is trying to figure out how to display it in a different light, whether it's the yellow wall that's now changed the porcelain Vasarely, or if it's in context with another object. I'm constantly honing in on one teeny detail and then keeping in mind the big picture, because we have a very short amount of time to make all of it come together, and everything counts. The House That Modernism Built is actually the most unique exhibit that we've done yet. Not only did we have platforms that are built specifically for this show, there are 9+ colors that we're exhibiting, and all of them have different finishes. The other thing that makes this show incredibly unique is the geodesic dome, originally created by Buckminster Fuller. It took 5 crew members and a day to install it, which is an incredibly short amount of time, which has a lot to say for Bucky's design.
This was an idea that he developed and really perfected at Black Mountain College in Asheville, North Carolina. He then took that to North Carolina State University, to their School of Design, shortly after that program opened, and really affected generations of architects who came out of that program and worked here in North Carolina. It's nice to use the show as an opportunity to not only talk about modernism on an international scale, but also how it relates specifically to us here in North Carolina.